Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne with Back to Earth Creations and welcome to today's live stream. We are just streaming from the craft room. We're going to be making some jewelry. We're going to be doing all sorts of just kind of getting ready for potentially our next event. So we are back from Dragon Con and doing pretty good, I think. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still pretty fried, like my brain soup, as per usual. But that's okay. We made it to Atlanta for Dragon Con and had a really good weekend. And now I'm just getting my live stream set up and I'm doing some things with the screen. There we go. Beep boop. Excellent. Alrighty. Ooh. So these are some super cute little mushrooms that I think I want to do some polymer clay, like a polymer clay cane in the cap. I think that'd be really fun. So I'm going to go grab some polymer clay. My whole workstation, like all of the workstations around the house, are still quite messy. I got this, and I'm looking for, oh, this one will be pretty. I'll just bring that whole tray, actually. Ooh, and then I bet this one will be nice. Well, let's start with the one. And I'll need a tissue blade. And probably an acrylic roller. All right, now I have everything. There we go. And I didn't send out any email or anything. Today's a little bit of just a test day, getting back into it. So we'll see how that goes. So here we have, oh, that's just a pretty Skinner blend. As you can see, that's a nice little like plug size. And we're just gonna kind of squish and smush. Yeah, this is our first live stream on YouTube and Kick in quite a while. And so what I'm going to do with this is I'm just getting it warm in my fingers. This is just a blend of Sculpey Primo. Hey, Cat and Cauldron. Dragon Con was freaking amazing. Honestly, everything went as smoothly as it possibly could. Like, traffic was terrible, but there were no car accidents this year, which is good. Like, I'll take that anytime. And setup went smoothly. The whole weekend went pretty smoothly. We didn't start to get sick with like some con crud until Monday. Randy and I were both feeling it in our throats. And then, but we were able to get like torn down just fine and made it home safely over the course of a couple of days. We've been kind of just catching up on our sleep really since then. And now I'm prepping for potentially our next event, which is, yeah, oh man, and we sold all but 3 of the dragon heads. I am so pleased. I was really worried because we spent the last 2 months, you know, just putting all of our energy and effort into, you know, making those dragon heads, and I was afraid that they weren't going to sell, but they did, so I'm pleased. So I'm gonna try to cut this out. Do I have a little tool? Well, there's that. Ooh, that's filthy. You okay, baby? Okay. I caught some con crud without even going to a con. Oh no. Well, how are you doing other than that? Good, I hope. Okay, so I'm gonna try just kind of squishing this on the edge. There we go. But yeah, I'm still pretty exhausted. So I don't know how long today's stream is going to be. Well, it's good that you're doing pretty good. But I figured I got to get back to it at some point, so I may as well. I was like, I could live stream. I could live stream today. Just going to use a bit of scrap wire to pull away the excess bits. Hey, Carol, how's it going? Hello, Vaughn. Wonderful success at Dragon Con. It was a fantastic weekend, like really. And I'm glad that we brought the dragon heads, because if we just had our jewelry, I don't know that we would have had such a good weekend. But those dragon heads really make a big difference for us. So I was really, really pleased that we were able to get all 17 of them finished. Oh, thank you for the engagement, but I'm not interested in the service that you offer. Yeah, there was these little mushroom pieces got sent to us to our PO box, but there wasn't like a note or anything, so I don't know who they were from. So if you know who these mushrooms are from, let me know so I can thank you properly. There we go. My daughter is starting to work with polymer clay. Ooh. I'll email you some of the photos. Oh, that'd be so cool. Polymer clay is so much fun. It really is. So we've got a nice little on the front, and I could probably dome a little bit of resin over this, but we'll see how that goes. Aw, hey Georgia Homestead, how are you doing? Since I missed Dragon Con. Oh, well, it went phenomenally. It was a really good weekend. She's making dolls and heads. Oh, that's neat. I'm gonna do at least one more little mushroom, but I want to roll it a little thinner because I want there to be a bit more room for the UV resin to sit. Now we could do this a whole lot easier if we used our pasta machine to roll the clay out to a particular thickness, but I didn't feel like cleaning off my sculpt station today, so we're just doing it this way. Ooh, Georgia Homestead says our first festival is tomorrow in downtown Atlanta. Oh, right on. Is this like an indoor or an outdoor festival, or I hope it goes really well for you. And I hope the weather's as beautiful as what it has been, because this was probably the mildest weather we've ever had at Dragon Con. Outdoor at the dairies. Okay. Well, good luck to y'all. Are you going to be selling your jewelry or? Cat and Cauldron says, yeah, but who wants to set up and clean up a machine, right? Exactly. It's not even like the pasta machine set up and ready to go. There's just, let me show you. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute, well, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. So, oh, there's our Z dog. But I just have this mess that I didn't feel like cleaning up. So that's why I'm not sculpting over there today. Where instead, we're over here at this mess, which is mildly more manageable, I think. Oh, gotta get the phone plugged back in. But I just applied today for another event and we haven't heard back. But it is for a moth market. This is a dual stream. Yeah, Cat and Cauldron. We're experimenting with dual streaming to the Back to Earth Creations live channel, as well as our Kick channel. We have a variety booth, jewelry, woodworking, resin art, and artisan jams and jellies. Ooh, and mushroom inoculated logs. Nice. All the cool things. Well, good luck to you guys. A moth market. It's like an oddities market. It's just it'll be in Springfield. If we get in, we'll be in Springfield on October 18th selling our jewelry and hopefully our dragon heads. But I wanted to make just some more unique and interesting jewelry. I was thinking about doing some tentacles out of polymer clay and just kind of doing a bit more of just what here's on our desk. Georgia Homestead says we book up months in advance for the year. In the past, that's how Randy and I did it as well. And I didn't think we'd be able to get into this event. And there's still no guarantee at all. I've only sent an application. But they had just posted on their Moth Market Facebook page that they still had vendor spaces. And they're like only $60 for a booth. So I was like, all right. And we're just getting one. We're just gonna see how it goes if we even get in at all. But it gives me something on the horizon instead of feeling a little aimless post dragon, if that makes sense. Hey Bodega says, hey Vaughn, hey guys, how are things? They're going really, really well. And Peaceful says, hello everyone. Glad to hear y'all had a good Dragon Con fun. Dude, maybe too. We really needed it. But like there's, we're gonna pay the van off. So a big chunk of what we made at Dragon is going towards that. But it'll be really nice to be debt free again. And then we've got to pay for re-up for our booths for 2026. So there goes another big chunk of the money. And then we also are having to repurchase the or redo the annual payment for our website. So that's another really big chunk. So uh like we can't rest on our laurels as much as I would like to, but it definitely gave us a shot in the arm to get us kick started for the holiday season. Oh, thank you, baby. Or yes, I understand. I don't know why I said that. Like words are so hard, you guys, and my brain is basically soup. Georgia Homestead said, how much is a booth at Dragon Con? It depends on what floor you're on, if you're on a corner, if you're on an inline, but anywhere from 3 to 4,000 and up for a 10 by 20. So uh, a bunch. It's a bunch. It's so much. Um, oh no. Oh, but Georgia Homestead said then Charles had another heart attack. So this is our first event after that. I'm worried about him. Oh my goodness. For a 10 by 10? I don't know. You'll have to, honestly, to get a true answer, you should just check the DragonCon vendor application. It will have that information on there. Yeah. But there, we have not come across another event in the country that, that doesn't charge that much, that we can sell our dragon heads at. And, the dragon heads we sell, they start at 300 and work their way up to the most expensive one we sold this year was 1,000. So that was really nice. We only sold one of those, but dang, too rich for my blood. Our 12 by 12 booth tomorrow was 85. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's this moth market only charging like, what is it, 60 or 80 bucks? I can't even recall. Um, I was like, oh yeah, we can go spend the day. I mean, it's going to be a long day. We may get a hotel for the night before. That way we can show up nice and early and set up and then tear down and drive home. So I kind of want to make a little tentacle something. How do I want to do this? Hey, Itzy, how's it going? Hey, flying. So do you set up a 12 by 12 easy up or do you use like a 10 by 10? Kind of want to just set a little tentacle in the mushroom cap. I wonder how that would go. And then we're going to go like, I'm about to do my first polymer clay things in decades. Bought a toaster oven just for it, going to combine the clay with resin. Oh, right on. Now, do you bake the resin too? What do you think, baby? Oh, gotcha. I don't know if I like this. Hope you had an amazing time at DragonCon. I had a fantastic time at DragonCon. It's hard not to have a good time when we're rooming with our vendor buddies with World of Strange. and their family and helpers. And then Amy and Maddie help us in the booth. So it's really hard to not have a good time. Like it was awesome. Everything that we cooked in the crock pot came out really well. It's just I need to not keep doing this to myself with the stress pre-dragon every year. Like so I'm anticipating starting dragon heads actually probably next week because we do have some folks who are interested in custom. Ooh, Georgia's Homestead says, I've made a new channel just for crafts. If you're interested, I'll email you my channel info once I start posting videos. Oh, that'd be great. We'd actually just started a new channel for our homesteading stuff called Making It on a Quarter, since we live on a quarter acre. And I don't know if this is my favorite thing or not. I'm just going to keep experimenting and seeing if I like how it comes out. Yeah, go ahead and say the name of your channel. That'd be great. And that way anybody interested can go and find you and follow you. Is that a new channel on YouTube? It is. Now I haven't posted anything there yet, but that's um all of our homesteading stuff and like any cooking that I do. I'm going to be posting over to the Making It on a Quarter. Bored as heck crafts. Okay. I love that. And that's on YouTube. We'll check that out. But I just wanted to be able to the Vonster vlog is going to be my belly dance and music, uh and flow arts, those sorts of things. And then um Making It on a Quarter is going to be our homestead and cooking and different things like that. And then Back to Earth Creations Live is uh well, all of our kind of aimless live streams. Not saying that this is aimless, but like uh kind of rambly, gonna take all day sort of live streams. I was tired of getting comments from folks who were like, I'm never gonna watch one of your 3 hour live streams. And I was like, well, okay. Like that's fair. But we're hoping it'll appease the algorithm and help us in our pursuits of remaining full-time artists because my goodness gracious, just witnessing like it is so nice that we don't have to work 9 to 5s because it's basically a circus out there sometimes. And it's really nice to not have to put up with coworkers other than each other. I don't know if I like that at all. I mean, I don't know if I love it or if I hate it. So I'm just gonna let's smush it. Hey Anika, how's it going? But yeah, I'm hoping that whenever I get something posted on there, I'll on the Making It on a Quarter, I'll kind of blast it on all my other channels. But so much has been just up in the air, really. I think that I'm trying to not just rubber band spring back into the stress I was in prior to Dragon Con, if that makes sense. Because it's so easy to just stay chronically stressed out, for me at least. I don't know if everybody goes through that. Be careful when you heat it up and do it in a well ventilated outside area. Oh, okay. Oh, here. To create the piece, bake, then coat with UV a few times. Ooh, right on. Yeah, that's good advice to when it heats up to do it in a well ventilated area. Wow, zinc fumes. Oh, okay. About something regarding floral wire I might want to know about. Apparently, the wire is galvanized unless it's specifically labeled as stainless steel. Oh, that's really. Oh, cheers. Gonna hydrate. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Al with Kane's Chains. Oh, how are all y'all doing today? But yeah, just trying to keep it kind of chill because all we have is today. And if we worry, we suffer twice. And so we're just going to take it a day at a time and enjoy ourselves. So that's all we got to do. We went to the farmer's market this morning and made some terrible life decisions that I have no regrets over, but made some terrible life decisions. Um, we had ice cream and blueberry cobbler for breakfast, full sugar across the board. So, uh, so that's a thing. Fortunately, Bodega, I don't do a lot of work at this time with floral wire, but that is super good to know. Yeah, that's the thickness I'm looking for. That way we can dome it with the UV resin. So the Back to Earth Creations Live is a second YouTube channel. It is, yeah. And that way, we can, I'm still going to be posting. We're building back up to it. So this week we will not have a Monday shop update, but typically our goal is going to be a Monday shop update, a Tuesday tutorial, a Thursday tutorial, and a Friday live stream. Now, whether we ever actually get to that level of production again, I don't know, but just because I don't know how burnt out I am, but uh, we're at the very least going to have the Monday, Thursday, and Friday. But I'd really love to be able to sneak in another if not tutorial, then at least like progress video of like one of our dragon sculptures or whatever it is that we've been working on in our Back to Earth Creations live streams. Will get condensed into a Tuesday like recap video. So like this one here might be 5 ideas for polymer clay. Like if I come up with anything that's worth sharing. Which I think I might just do some little dots on this guy over here. But it's kind of tricky, like the stress of Dragon Con prep. And I'd like to specify that because this year at Dragon Con, there was nothing that was stressful except for what I brought with me, if that makes sense. Like nothing went wrong. Like the traffic is always very stressful because people drive like there from insane asylums. Um and cities are just the like instant anxiety just cuz there's just a lot going on. But everything really did go as well as it could. But the stress of prep just cored me out. Like I feel so like simultaneously hollow and refreshed at the same time, like if that makes sense. Like the stress went scorched earth and now all that is left is I feel like making stuff. So here I am. But I also kind of feel like I don't have a whole lot to offer, if that makes sense. Like I don't know what I have to offer, but I'm just going to try to be helpful if that makes sense. Hey Cindy. Thank you so much for welcoming us back. Peace Wolf says, I like the long live streams. Nice to have something to watch in the background while crafting. Right, and I love the long live streams too, because sometimes it takes me 3 or 4 hours to hit my stride, and do something worthwhile. Have a great rest of your weekend, Georgia. Anika says, did you sell all of your dragons? Anika, we sold all but 3, which I'm very excited about. And one of those 3 we may be sending off to its new home. Oh no, I got a little bit of clay on that one. After it's had a little bit of repainting. Um, for a client who's like, I love it. I just wish it were a little more iridescent. And I'm like, well, baby, I can make it iridescent. And then the other 2 we're going to post up to the website. And then we have another custom kind of lined up. And then another kind of remake lined up, if that makes sense. So our hard work paid off. So thank goodness. Cat and Calder says, I love the long live streams too. Excellent. Yeah, we slept for Randy said I slept for about 36 hours. Um just we got home, we got the van unloaded, We got the van unloaded, and then went to bed and just kind of stayed in bed other than to let my chickens in and out until I don't even know what day it is. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday, but I spent most of yesterday trying to reclaim the house just from the state that I had left it in when we left for Dragon. Which ones didn't sell? The fiery one, the one with all the eyes. That's the fiery one. The sea witch, the deep sea dragon, didn't sell, and then Celestial didn't sell. But Celestial's the one that as soon as we get it repainted, the client is confident that they're gonna take it home. So, oh, Cindy, me too. Like I can't even. It was such a relief. We were putting all of our energy and effort. Like we did for 2 months, we didn't hardly make a single bit of jewelry, like nothing. Um, and so to have that time investment pay off was like, oh, thank goodness, because it could have gone the other way so quickly. Anika says the one with the eyes is my favorite, right? And I love it. And the way she fluoresces is beautiful. But the thing is any that don't sell, now that we've brought them home, we get to evolve them. And this will be the second evolution of uh I don't know if I'm going to call her Phoenix Flame or Watcher in the Dark or Lava. I don't know. I still don't know what her name is. But I'm going to build a whole costume around her. So I'm excited about that. So I think I'm going to keep doing a little bit more of a blended marbling. I want to make a tentacle, like just a tentacle pendant. Because if we get into the moth market, it's going to be a they want like weird stuff. So I was going to be real heavy into our tentacle and eyeball jewelry. Caro says, "Is that the three-eyed orange one? That one kind of creeped me out, but I love it." Yeah, it was that one, which has 5 eyeballs now. Um, Argus, like the giant with all the eyes. Ooh, I kind of like that. I'm gonna have to do more research into it. So the fiery one with the multiple eyes is going through a second evolution phase, like a Charmander. Yes, just like a Charmander. Should it be a tentacle heart or tentacle earrings? What do y'all think? Let me go grab my ball styluses. I'll be right back. I'm all congested. How's your tea, baby? Well, it's hard to put enough sugar in it after that breakfast. Like nothing tastes sweet anymore. So I was practicing sculpting up in the living room. I took a hunk of monster clay up there with me. And this is the tentacle. I love tentacles, you guys. So this is just monster clay. It's an oil-based clay, but I also want to make some gnomes. Like maybe, hey Daniel, how's it going? I love your dragons. Oh, well, thank you for saying so. I'm glad that you like them. We're not working on our dragons today. We're doing some other stuff, but that's okay. Be abstract. A tentacle hairpin holder. Ooh. Now I do love that, but I'm constricted today with making things that I'm currently able to display with minimal change to the booth. So that's the kind of the confine that the sandbox that I'm playing in. Al says I find that I am drained after a big show. Oh yeah, 100%. Like 100%. But I caught myself feeling like, I could live stream today. And so I was like, if I feel that, I better go ahead and do it because I want to reward the behavior within myself of wanting to live stream and be online and wanting to versus feeling obligated to. And that's part of the starting a new YouTube channel for this, is to kind of trick myself into feeling like it's a fresh start and like I don't have to be beholden to any previous time schedules or anything like that. I can just kind of go, just click live and go. Hey, we do's it. How are you doing? Our camping converter arrived today. Is that enough marbling? Sure. Not sure what I would be like after a huge show like Dragon. I don't know. I slept, Randy says, for 36 hours. So basically would wake up to take more Alivert as a decongestant and chug a water and fall back asleep. That was very necessary. And so my throat's still a bit raw and rough from talking nonstop for next month is my first 2-day show. Ooh, ooh. Ah, this is J Max. I am crocheting kitty spiders. Oh, I love that. The con recover period is real. It hits hard. It does. But it was so like, I love the intensity of it. Like I really do feel like I live for that. Oh, if we reduced this cane and used that as the tentacle suckers. Okay, I'm gonna put these ones. I should just put them into a tray, but I'm not gonna because I'm a bad Vaughn. I'm a bad Vaughn. Ooh, getting ready to head to Windsor for my brother's 60th birthday. Oh, well, happy birthday to you, Bubba. I hope you all have a safe trip. I'm so looking forward to the camp along. Like, so, so much. Okay. Y'all, I gotta turn my microphone off and blow my nose. I will be right back. Alrighty, I am back. Laura, we did very well at Dragon Con. It wasn't our best year ever, but it was our second best year ever, and I will take that. And honestly, I bet if we had been able to restock on our goddess gowns and circle skirts, I bet we would have done even better than what we did. But it was risky. Do we invest the money into making these pieces, or do we invest the money and time into making these other ones? So it played out as it did, and I am pleased. So it certainly was. We have our number that's like, this will sink our battleship. Like, if we don't hit this number, then we can't afford to re up for next year. And then we have our goal number, and then we have our high water mark, and we almost hit our high water mark. So I was like, oh, thank goodness. I mean, it's more than almost half spent right now, but it bought us basically another 6 months of existing. So that's kind of dystopian, but cool that, uh, we get to be alive for 6 more months. Like, our bills will be paid, and like we can get groceries. Like, that'll be nice. I'm kind of looking at like beef prices and stuff and trying to figure out what we should get to like restock the freezer, because it was so nice this time round. Things were getting really tight there, the month before Dragon, and we were able to predominantly just eat what we had in the deep freeze. So that's good. That's one less thing. So I'm trying to reduce this cane down just to see how it's going to look as like little tentacle nubs. Hey Jim, how's it going? And it was so invigorating and wonderful. Oh my god, y'all, we got to see a cosplayer that I have not seen since probably the first year that we vended in Memphis. And she is grown and has her own child and husband that we got to be introduced to. And like, just, it was so amazing to get to see, just how folks are doing. And it's like, it's just a wonderful pilgrimage every year that we take down to Atlanta, and getting to spend the evenings eating out of the crock pot with family and friends. Excuse me. Cindy says almost to 950 subs. I'm excited for you to get a thousand and even more. Right, Cindy? It's wild. Like, I can't believe how many subscribers we already have here on the Back to Earth Creations live channel. Hey, Longevity, just stopping by to add to your algo. I'm glad you sold most of your dragon heads. Me too, Longevity. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. We decided what we're making for the potluck. What are you making for the potluck? Because I have no idea what we're bringing. So what you're bringing is going to help me decide what I want to bring. So now I'm just slicing little boop, boop, boops. And I'm worried that I'm not going to have enough of them. But just getting the trailer ready. Laura drove with it for the first time and did very well. Oh, that's scary. Congratulations on doing well, though, Laura. I'm scared just driving the minivan. I've never hauled a trailer or anything. I'm afraid I'd be, well, I'm afraid I'd wreck it, quite frankly, or end up in a ditch or something. A spider costume for your Sphinx cat? That would be so cool. Venison beef chili, cornbread muffins, macaroni salad, and cookies. Oh, that sounds awesome. Next week we will try backing up. Good luck to you. So I think I'm just going to do this blue. Or what are these colors? Oh yeah, I'm going to use one of these for the suckers because I've got way more of it. And I want these two to match. So I'm just going to scooch these off to the side this way. I've been wanting to make some tentacle jewelry anyhow. Maybe coming in a little closer. We might risk zooming a bit perhaps. Jim's making the macaroni salad. Nice. I think Randy and I may provide, we might just do like a meat and cheese tray and some fresh fruit and veggies. But I don't know. We're going to kind of figure out what everybody else is bringing and then we'll fill in the gaps. I can drive it to you faster and avoid customs. Can you send the cornbread in the mail? That'll be cool. Oh my gosh, chili's such a go-to. I hope that the weather's nice. I'm worried that we're going to get rained on. I mean, if that is what it is, we've got all the tarps and everything, and our spot is on some nice high ground, so hopefully we'll be all right. Al says, I likes cornbread. I get different responses from different folks, but I like sweet cornbread. I eat it as like a dessert. There we go. And now we can do our little sucker cups in like a matching color scheme. So I'm just cutting these each to be about maybe 2 millimeters wide. Because I want all of these to more or less be the same size. I'm getting a little narrow on it, but that's okay. But yeah, do you see how they have that little bloop of color in the middle? We can dance in the rain. Yes. Because we specifically chose, normally I'll stay in like the primitive camping. It was the primitive camping area at this campground did not even have any like clearly defined roads. It just looks like the whole thing washes out every time it rains. Which I think it'll be amazing to go like, peeking through and seeing if we can find like cool fossils and stuff in the bedrock. Um, I was like, I'm gonna glamp it up even harder than usual and just stay on an RV pad that has electric and water. Like that'll be cool. It's a beautiful campground, so we finally did start getting a little bit of rain around here, so that's nice. Though the last like 4 or 5 weeks it was triple digit heat and just no rain. And we're hand watering everything. I still haven't gotten hold of anybody to fix the hose, but one thing at a time. So basically, my whole garden, very little has survived. Like my herbs have survived, but they're perennials, and I mean, they're hard to kill. Oh, that'll be a really good investment, Laura. I just like having a little self-sufficiency in that aspect. But yeah, my all my herbs made it through the heat of summer, but my cucumbers didn't quite make it. The tomatoes are still kicking and doing well. Um, but like a lot of my celosia and stuff just gave up. And I'm like, it's all right. You did your best. And Nika says, I want to go on a fossil hunt. Me too. No, it's a state park, so we can't take anything with us, but we can take pictures. And honestly, I just like looking at rocks. So that's already 10 out of 10 fun day. Now, I haven't when did I make these canes? At least a year ago. So this clay hasn't been conditioned or anything. So sometimes I'll get a little bit of splitting, especially towards the tips of the cane as it heats up and starts to move. So I'm just trying to. Oh, Peace Wolf says, is there a group chat or something for the people wanting to go to coordinate plans? Not that we have currently, Peace Wolf. I really need to do better about that. I think Stephanie had made a Facebook page, but I'm not certain on the details of that. Like I've slept since then and feel just about useless. So uh we will let me get an email put together with all the links and all the pertinent information, and we'll have links to where folks can talk about and coordinate um in there. I think that might be a good idea. Fossil hunt, let me get my boot stick and adventuring hat, right? And now I'm making some slightly larger tentacle suckers with this second cane. I feel like my voice is so raspy. And so now from here, my cat hates any clothes. My dog doesn't mind, so I crochet a taco outfit. Oh, that didn't pick it up. With all the confidence in the world. So now I'm just going to come through and I'm going to try. All right, right on, Cindy. We'll be here. Just putting on a couple of suckers. Just getting an idea of how many I'll need. Have we decided, and am I making a heart pendant or am I making tentacle earrings? Ooh, dog hair is always free. There we go. Right, I love the blue too. I can't remember the colors on this, but it's I think it was just a turquoise toned Primo Sculpey paired with this really pretty like magenta. Like some to be cold if you can taste the other pets with him. With his little taco costume. Oh, and it was so nice to come home and see Z, and the porch kitties were all here to greet us. It's just good to be home. Pendant. It may provide more options. Right on. Pendant it is. Well, that's perfect. Now I don't really have to get them to match. Okay, so now from here, I'm going to come through, and we could make this like extra bougie. I think it'll be okay just to do alternate to start with, because then we can always come back in and fill in like that. We have free cat hair on offer with our crafts. But I was looking at the farmers market today. They had some like primarily ornamental kale for sale, but it was like $5 a plant, and I was like, I should have started my own seeds. But then I remembered I wouldn't have been able to water them for the whole week we were at Dragon, so that's okay. I think later today I'm gonna go uh, plant some spinach seeds out in one of the raised beds. We've got more tomatoes than I know what to do with. And I've got gallons and gallons of them froze that we harvested before we left for Dragon that I think I'm just gonna defrost and make like I don't know. I don't know what I want to make with them. In years past, my go-to has just been to do dehydrated tomato slices that I then powder, and I'll add that to like spaghettis and chilies and stews and stuff to as a thickener to add in some nice flavor. Yeah, I don't want to stop doing that alternate pattern. We haven't gotten a quote yet. That was a hashtag after dragon sort of thing. And now that it's after dragon and we're kind of in a post dragon days, it seems, uh, we're gonna get it figured out. But that is something that I'm setting a couple $100 aside for because I know it's not going to be as affordable as I want it to be. But we'll probably need to get that taken care of before winter sets in because then plumbers are typically busy for the season dealing with people's busted pipes. Ooh, Peace Wolf says, I recently started using some Cos Clay Glow. Anyone know how to make it not be so gummy? I've tried putting it in the fridge, but it only stays hardened for literal seconds. Man, I don't know, but it seems like it's way gummier than what it used to be. I don't know if they changed something with their formula or like what, but that is some super soft stuff. I've started having to be pretty selective in the designs that I choose to use it in, just because it's a challenge to work with. I absolutely love the end result, but it's a challenge to work with. And so now I'm just taking little slices, boop, boop, putting them together. And then my favorite part, the poking of the holes. Yes, omnomne, poke the holes, do do do. Yes, dun dun dun. Okay, and now with all of the extra ones, I'm going to fill in where it looks a little scant, like where it could use some more suckers. Mm, 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 mm. Ooh, 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 ooh. But yeah, at the moth market that we applied for, I really hope we get in because I'll be able to get to see the belly dance troupe that I take classes at their studio, but I'll get to see them perform. And that'll be really fun, I think. I won't be dancing with them. Like, I haven't been able to make, like, I was supposed to go to class today, but I just didn't feel well enough. I was like, I feel well enough to sit here and smush clay together, but uh, it's a pretty rigorous class. So, oh, y'all, I'm barely in frame. If you blend them up and then run the tomatoes through a sieve, you can dehydrate the juice in the oven into a conserva, an Italian word for a type of fruit leather for shelf-stable storage. Right on. I mainly use it for backing translucent cabs, but it sticks to everything. Yeah, it's very good for sticking to cabs, I tell you what. Can the cost clay be blended with other clays? In their spec sheet, it says that you can, but at like a specific ratio, otherwise it gets even gummier. And so I haven't experimented with any success on that one yet. And a big part of it is I just don't really keep good track of how much I've added. I'm a very bad scientist. All right, so now we're going to take all of our ball stylus tools. Oh, I tried mixing with translucent. Hey, Celestial Fox says I tried mixing with translucent Primo, but it lost almost all of its glow. Oh man, and that's I really like it for the glow, you know. We do. It says, "Oh, you're here too. I thought you were talking to imaginary friends." Yeah, I took the chat down off of the screen because we had so many complaints about it being there. Um, from folks in the rewatch. Oh, gotcha. And so I don't know what we're doing. We're just doing it. Okay, so I'm going to try to have them in order of smallest to largest. Are these two the exact same size? No. I think it goes like that one, that one, that one, that one, and then that one, that one. This makes no sense. Okay. Hey, Barbie, how's it going? Thank you for welcoming us back. I'm glad to be back. And so now from here, I'm going to start with, it's not our smallest, but I just want to do a little dimple into the centers of our sucker cups. And I may end up using a slightly larger ball stylus as well. And then I go back down. It just depends on the size of the sucker. But I do want to press kind of nice and firm and deep because this is what's going to make sure that we have good contact between the suckers and the tentacle. Poke, 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 poke. Just go slow and methodical. There's no sense to rushing this and messing up. We've put in all this work. We ought not be hasty and mess up now. Sometimes something that will happen to me in this step is if I didn't condition the clay of the suckers very well, I might get splits on the edges. And I just treat that like a birthmark. That's just how this piece is. I haven't gotten any so far, but just when it happens, I just accept that it happened. And keep crafting. And so that's the difference between doing the little dot, like adding that depth of detail. So let's go ahead and do the other one. Ah! Hey, Tasher, Sisters of the Hook, a wild Vaughn has appeared. Celebrates their subscription for 20 months. Hot dog, that's a while. Ah, Peace Wolf says, I like the chat on screen because you lose side chat and full screen. Plus, it lets us see both sides of the conversation. Right on. Well, let me see if I'm able. I don't think I have it set up to where it'll show both. Like, if that makes sense. Okay. Well, we won't be able to do that for this live stream, but we'll see if we can get it set up for a future one. Because sometimes I swear it's like some folks will just pop by just to comment some complaint that they have, but then they never show up in the chat, that they complain about. So it's like, I'm going to do what makes y'all happy because you're here. Oh, I'm okay. I'm still pretty, hey, Kathy. I'm still pretty whooped, but I needed to be crafting, and I wanted to be crafting. Like I was like, I could see there that just happened. How I pressed and it split a little. We can try to blend that together a little bit, but typically I just don't sweat it. I just don't need to press that hard. Um, DragonCon went amazingly. It was not our best year ever, but it was pretty close, and I will take that for darn tootin'. Um, it was everything went as well as it possibly could have. Like there were no car accidents, nothing got stolen, nobody got hurt. Like we just got through the weekend, and that's really really nice. But we did catch a bit of con crud, and it started to set in on the way home. And so we got home and slept for about 36 hours. Randy said, "Is we were just dead to the world." There we go. We sold all but 3 of the dragon heads, which is freaking awesome. So I'm going to make a little like heart pendant. This is the sort of thing I'm going to shape it here on the tile. Yeah, I'm super stoked. Last year was our best year at DragonCon. It was. We were super well stocked last year, though. This year, we could have used a lot more of our goddess gowns, and we could have used a lot more of our circle skirts. Like there were some folks who had come back for them, but we didn't have the colors that they wanted. But we sold about half of our inventory of tie dyes, which is phenomenal. Like I'll take that any day of the week. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that shape. What do you think? Can to say which dragon heads did not sale? We still have the Sea Witch, we still have Celestial, and we still have um 2019 Evolved. So I kind of, hey little sprite. Oh, I'm glad we didn't get sicker than what we did. Because we could have. Like we've spent like there's been some dragon cons that we come home and we're sick for about 2 weeks. It seems just with Randy will have it and then I'll have it. Like we've been on kissing quarantine and I miss him. Like like TMI, but I was having dreams about giving him kisses. And but then I woke up and I was like, boo, I can't give him kisses. I don't want to get him sick. Harumph and grumble. What about a cephalopod fleur de lis? Ooh, that'd be wild. Love that idea. So I'm kind of just giving them like extra suckers where they join as part of the joining them together. There is something to be said for anticipation, though. That is true. I'm afraid I've been such a grumpy gremlin that he's not even going to want to give me kisses, but we'll see. Mm. So there's that. I'm just going to go like boop. And then I may do a second baking where I apply a little bit more polymer clay to the back. Oh, the leaves when the play off. I don't know sports, but I understand what you're getting at. There's a nice little heart. But yeah, so that'll take 2 bakings. A cephalopod fleur de lis. Let me search what a cephalopod looks like. Ooh, what cool creatures those are. Okay, so is that like a cuttlefish or like a mollusk? A nautilus? Is that what they are? Ooh, that's a whole poster of different cephalopods. Because there's the cuttlefish, and the coastal squids, and then the bobtail squids. Those are probably what I think is the cutest. Mm. Bodega says, just had a thought. Yeah, what about a cephalopod fleur de lis? Octopus, nautilus, squids. Gotcha. That's a pretty good start, I think. I think I'm going to squish this one up to be another tentacle. It's got some interesting color blends there on the inside. And then I'm just going to do some as like, just like a little tentacle charm. I'll have to tackle the fleur de lis when I've got a little bit more brain power. Because right now my brain's like, make roll, do smush. I was like, okay, brain, we make roll, do smush. And that's all I got. Valid. Basically any type of squid, octopus, cuttlefish. It also includes ammonites and other extinct tentacled shellfish stuffs. Nice. Make squish. Do roll. Make clay. I was thinking this might just be a cool color blend for yeah, just a little tentacle charm. And krakens. So we've got that reconditioned back into where it's adhering nicely to its own self, at least. Make clay, not war, right? Unless clay makes you mad and then squash it. Oh, I'm making some of those way too thin. I don't need to be doing that. I really hope we get into this oddities market. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and we haven't done something local, I'm not gonna lie, in like 6 years. So, I mean, Springfield's still like an hour away, but it'd be pretty cool. There we go. Hey, Dark Cat. Um, I just got here. Sorry if you've said it a million times now, but how was Dragon? I'll say it a million more. Dragon was everything that we needed it to be. It was not our best year yet. It was our second best, but I will take that any day of the week. We sold all but three of the dragon heads, which I'm thrilled about. Um, and I'm kind of fried and whooped, but very happy and grateful to be home. Ooh, Tasher says, may I ask, do you have a favorite moment slash interaction from Dragon this year? Oh, I don't know. I got to meet I got to meet Donna from she follows our work, and that was really cool. And that was something that like Randy was like, I think she wanted to talk to you because I was talking to her friend about she was like shopping and stuff, and I was in sales mode. And so I went and I kind of chased her, Donna down. It was like, sup? And like whenever we made eye contact, it's just like making best friends. Like so, like just the look on her face, and then I think like the way like the look of the felt on my face, like I was just like and she was like and so it was pretty cool. And I got to hear about her crafts a bit, and then there was another lady that I met whose name I can't remember, but I got selfies. They're in my phone, so I can't pull it down and show you. But oh no, ants in your shower. Chick with an edge says, "Hi Vaughn." Hey chick, how's it going? And it was just really good. It was really nice. There was a young man named Alan who I got to show how to make chainmail, and I don't think either of us were expecting that. But like he shook my hand afterwards and everything, and he was like, "Thank you. That was very helpful." And I was like, "Hell yeah." I live to be helpful, y'all. Like I love selling and making dollar bills, but I love teaching. Love it. And then just about every dragon head that we sold. And then this lady who bought one of our dragon heads last year came back and showed me pictures of her wearing it. And she's a mushroom artist, and she had bought last year's mushi. And so that was really cool just to get to like chit chat with her. We got to see Jara and Katie, who are like two cosplayers. I've known Jara since Memphis, like back when we used to vend in Memphis, and he was just getting into his cosplay journey. Like this was around the time that I had made my Spyro costume, and so we like geeked out a lot about. He was still working in foam at the time, but has since branched off into leather. And so just to get to see them, 6 years has flown by, since seeing these folks last. And they seem to complement, Jerry and Katie seem to complement each other really well. They're both very talented, creative folks. And it's really nice to have a buddy, you know, like a craft buddy that lives in your house that gives you snuggles. So I'm happy for them. And then what else was there? We got just Amy helping us on Friday because Maddie still had college that day. She still had class and work. And so it was really cool to get to just hang out with Amy a bit. And then having Maddie there always is so nice. Like just being able to stand back and watch her. Because I was so fried from stress, y'all, that like I was kind of crappy at my sales pitches sometimes. Like people would come up and like ask questions, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's so, I don't know. There were some tough interactions, and so I'd just like step back and let Maddie take over. And she did it better than I could. Like that girl's running my booth better than I do. And I'm just so proud of her. But my brain had turned to mush. I have to not get that stressed out next year. But I mean, you can only do so much of, and just the fact that I was like, well, I was only doing 14-hour days this year. And it's like, girl, start the dragon head sooner. So, well, we'll see what we can do. All I can do is go one day at a time. So here we are. Tasha says craft buddies with benefits. LOL. Is this how spouses are made? Yeah, basically. Pretty much seems to, at least in my experience. I'm just doing another little tentacle. Hydrate so you don't dehydrate. Just coming through. So we did all the dots. Now I'm going to keep adding. Woo! Hydrate. That's another hydrate. Okay. I know I'm kind of excited. Like, I'm very excited, but I'm also very burnt out and exhausted, and the future's scary. And so I'm just focusing on today. Ooh, Itzy says, Vaughn, I have 3 weeks left to finish this cartoon. I'm a little scared. It's not going to get done in time. Are you working on it right now? Because if not, then go work on it right now, girl. You got this. You're going to do great. Yeah, you'll do great. Just keep on doing your best and you'll get there. Speaking of chainmail, says Bodega, I recently made a prototype D20 holder out of a bunch of key rings that looks like a Byzantine link. Oh, I bet that's cool. But yeah, just trying to help my brain sort through stress that's real and stress that's imagined or residual from previously existing stressful things that are no longer like our Patreon. We still have a Patreon. We don't promote it as much because we'd prefer people be YouTube channel members or join the Craft Along Club on our website. But if somebody wants to, if that's their preferred platform, we are still on there. But always feel this like nagging, oh, I'm not, like, from within my own mind. Nobody's sent me an email about it in a while, but it happened enough that now it just lives rent free in my head of this nagging need to, well, I need to be doing better. I need to be making content. I need to be doing this and that and the other thing. And it's like, how many years like back, like, are do I need to be carrying stress from? Like, because some of these things that I'm stressed out about are from like 5 or 6 years ago, and I feel like that's too long ago to keep carrying the stress. I don't want to mess up in that same way again, but I don't need to keep carrying that stress. Like, right? Like, I don't know. I can't afford therapy, so I live stream instead. So bye, Laura. Have a great rest of your day. Good luck backing up next week with the trailer. But I want so badly to just let myself tackle life like it's new and like I've never had my heart broken before. And like, you know, how does the line go? Sorry, ma'am, your stress has expired. Time to chuck it in the bucket bucket. Okay, thank you. That's the validation I needed. And Randy says that too, and but I'm afraid that he says things because he likes me. Like, if that makes sense. It sounds ridiculous to say it out loud, but there is this part of me that's like, you're just nice to me because you married me. Bodega says it allows the D20 to pop out when you undo the latch for when fireball is the only answer. Nice. Ah, I just broke off the tip. But okay, we'll just hide it. So I'm gonna make like basically a little tentacle donut bead, if that makes sense. That's how I'm gonna wire wrap it, like it's a little donut bead. So now I've brought this around to the back, and I want to tidy up anywhere that's still visible, like with cracks and things. And just here on the back side, I'm going to go ahead and blend that end in so that we have a nice connection. Eee! Oh, I'm glad you like it. But it's a great way, I think, to just use up some scrap clay, practice my sculpting. There we go. And then we'll just wire wrap it with a cute little like steampunky bail. Uses level 9 disintegrate spell and Von stress after rolling said d20. Back to the bucket with you, foul stress. Well, thank you guys. Oh, for your encouragement and validation. I appreciate it. Oh, look at the spiral in that. I love that. That's what I was doing with these. I was making those little calla lily type flowers for fairy houses. And so what I think I'm going to do here, I think I'm just going to squish it out kind of like this. And then rotate it and go like that. I bet this is going to be a really pretty tentacle, but I just want to try something because I want to clear out these drawers from my polymer clay collection. Now this is some of the glow cosplay that I incorporated into these Sculpey Primo colors, like a peacock pearl and some purple. There we go. So I'm going to see how that translates. And it is still significantly softer than the rest of the clay. Yeah, I'm going to marble it just a little farther. But you can see how it like distorts and sticks and stuff. It's just, it's a bit of a mess. I love Skinner blends, but I've yet to get my brain to understand how they work to make them look how I want them to. Gotcha. Just practice a whole bunch. You'll blow yourself away with the results that you get. All right, so now that this is just kind of sticky in general, I kind of want to try making a dragon eye pendant. Oh, let me stretch my neck a bit. Let me see if I've got a dragon eye laying about somewhere in this house. I bet I do. Dragon eyes, where are you, dragon eyes? No, you're here. What if I just used one of those? That'd be kind of cute. My knees hurt. My neck hurts. I'm tie-tie. Just coming through complaining. Maybe they're in this bin? Well, here's one that's painted but doesn't have any clay on it because it popped off. Maybe I can use that. Well, hazy dog. I love you. Are you getting hungry for lunch, honey? Okay. Whenever you are, let me know and I can log and we'll have sandwiches. All right. So this is one of our dragon eyes that I'd painted just the black edge and the pupil. So I think I'm going to try doing a slice of this. That's way more than what I need, but we'll play it by ear. I can't afford therapy, so I live stream instead. I totally fell out when you said that, says Cat and Cauldron. I think it is my very favorite Vonism ever. I mean, it's the truth though, like straight up. So that's pretty trippy. And the bead bin to the left, right next to the red beads. The bead bin to Bodega, you know my spot better than I do. All right, let's see. So here's that tray. If there's a dragon eye in here, you win. Like, you were the best. And I'm not going to say stalker because that sounds bad. Because I know that you probably just have like a photographic memory or something. Um, and I'm the kind of person that it's like, if I had a stalker out in the bushes, I'd be like, you hungry? Do you want to come in and eat? Ah, I don't think I have any dragon eyes in here. I got a whole bunch of arrowheads though. Look at that. That's so pretty too. Okay. It's always to the left. So I'm trying to distort the bright, glowy part of the cane. And so if you like painting dragon eyes, or if you like making dragon eyes, but you don't like the way acrylic paint smells, you can, or nail polish smells, you can totally use acrylic paint, or you can do like how I'm doing here and just use polymer clay. Well, it's always to the left on my desk. I bet if I kept going left enough, I would find a dragon eye. But just the fact that to the left of me, I have a bin with red beads in it, it's like, girl, she get like clairvoyant. What do you think of that? Is that a good dragon eye, or is that lazy of me to just kind of glob some clay on there? And I mean, I think it's pretty though. The whole eye looks a little muted. But we can kind of drag that color over just a little more. There we go. All right, on. Well, I'm glad you like it, Cat and Cauldron. It should glow, yeah. It'll be glow in the dark. I just can't tell if it looks muted because, oh, okay. Hey, Randy, do you have one of those black lights handy? Okay. Yeah. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab just one of the little thumb ones and keep it in here. How's that sound? Cool. Oh, that looks super neat. Wow, that's wild. Okay. So here's the eye. That's it fluorescing. So you can see that teal color totally fluoresces. I don't know why. And then this is it glowing. If you're able to see that. So that's just pretty neat. I don't know if I like, let me do a little bit, I don't know, because see, it lifts some of the, I want the pupil to be a little darker. We're having fun and experimenting. We don't have to nothing, if that makes sense. Eee! So let's see, maybe we could do where it's a little bit kind of like a dragon eye, using one of these glass cabochons. Like that would look pretty cool, I think. Right, I'm gonna move our little monster clay tentacle and our little monster clay gnome. I was thinking about doing a couple of gnomes just from polymer clay, and just selling them as like Christmas tree ornaments. Just again to practice my sculpting. I really want to grind out some levels, if that makes sense, on leveling up my uh, fabrication skills, taking something just from imagination to reality. So there's that. Again, this is another instance where it would be way easier if I just used my pasta machine, but I ain't about that life. Ooh, or do I do this color? It's hard to go wrong with that dichro, I am going to say. And I'm also simultaneously prototyping, if we were to do, this is something I'd like to do in a kit at some point, where, we send out a cabochon and y'all can, we'd make this style of setting together. So it's like we've got a little bit of glow, put a little bit of a twist into it. We can bring that around. Let's pull the dog hair out. There we go. Oh, really? Alrighty. Oof. Ow. Right in the money. I mean, I'm glad we have it to be able to pay for to be able to pay for the website, but dang, that's expensive. But okay though. All right, I'm going to pinch right there, and then we're going to taper this end off. Like, they don't lie when they say you've got to spend money to make money. I mean, it's like paying to have the lights on. You got to have the lights on to be able to do a live stream, to be able to do this and that and the other. Okay. So I'm going to make this one just a little shorter, which will make it thicker. Business write-offs on the taxes for sure. 100%. So of course it's going to look way more eye-like, if it had a pupil, but that's all right. And I kind of want to come through and just see what we can do with adding dots around the edges. So I'm just going to pinch off little segments. And if I had a Phillips head screwdriver, that's like my favorite way. And just plopping that on down like that. And I do like to add a little bit of a taper sometimes, because that way I just come in the same amount, but I'll get different size dots. Oop. And then we'll taper that on back down. And just making little boop, boop, boops. There we go. Boop. Bonk. Ooh, and I got to see Jerry Lynn from Firechild Glass. That was really amazing. I really admire her work as an artisan. She does these beautiful marbles, and just about everything I've ever seen her make is just gorgeous. But I'd love to be able to take one of her classes one day, but she still lives out in Arizona, and that's quite a trek from my neck of the woods. That was really fun at Dragon. It's such a blur. We got to see our friend Santa, and that's always nice. And he was teaching one of the chainmail classes for the costuming track for Dragon Con, which I think is just super cool. He's real, I swear, says Randy. Santa, yeah. He's got like naughty and nice tattooed on each of the arms, like oh, what was the name of the movie? Elementals, maybe? Where there was like an Easter bunny and stuff too. But he does all sorts of charitable and volunteer work with like uh all sorts of stuff over the years. Lately he's doing a whole lot with the Georgia Reptile Society. And he keeps like snakes and stuff, which I think is neat. Randy is less enthusiastic about snakes, but that's okay. So I just want to get a little weird with it. Uh, Randy, Cat and Cauldron says, "Hi, Randy. How are you doing today?" Yeah, he says now that he's got some liquids in him, he's stopped coughing. He's such a trooper, you guys. Like, I'm the kind of person that I bitch and moan if I get like a paper clip, like, or not a paper clip, a paper cut. I let everybody in the room know my exact status at all times. Randy suffers quietly. Uh, so it takes all kinds. Let's get some of these little design elements out of the way. I'm gonna roll the tip of that down. There we go. And I have to remind myself that not every single piece I make needs to be a show stopping, like, masterpiece work of art. Like, sometimes we can just experiment and be a little weird and see what works and what doesn't work and what we might like or might not like. Let me go find a screwdriver for sticking in the eyeball. This one will work perfectly. No, I think this one will do me. Thank you, though, honey. Yeah, we do have a little set of screwdrivers that I think are great for doing this as well. But I'm just going to go like this. I like to put a little one right there. And then I go like, bonk, and just push that down. And then I'm going to take another large one. And I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to go like, bonk, and I'm going to push that down. I'm going to go grab one more thing. It's some Pearlex, some like antique gold, I think. Because again, I want to go steampunky. You could do whatever colors that you like, though. Let's see, what is this? No, that's not the right color. Ooh, antique silver. Let's do antique silver, just because it's the one that's in my hand. And this is my favorite way of using kind of scrap clay for adding a lot of, color and detail. Okay, so now for some of these, I'm going to break the balls up even smaller. And I just like to come through and do almost like a little string of beads. Oh, I think so too, Kat. That one was too small. I went too small too fast. Ooh, a vaguely ancient Greek flavor to it. Oh, I like that. So a whole lot of my life as a sculptor, I think, will be spent just making balls. Lots and lots of wee bitty balls. But I love them. Like little granules. Because then we get to come through and go like boop, and then pick one up and go like boop, then pick one up and go like boop, then pick one up and go like boop. So just adding in some little layers of detail. The magic happens a little at a time. Bit by bit, we get there. And then I'm gonna go like boop, and a little bit of boop, boop, and a little bit of boop, boop. Oh, some rhinestones. Let me actually see, because I have a bin. Erica, that is such a good idea. I have a bin of stuff that was gifted to me that I have been trying to sort through for like a while now. And I think we actually have some really beautiful little sparkly. These are quite small, but I think they might do just the trick. I don't know if they bake well, but I'll risk it. I love that idea about little rhinestones. And then I don't know how, oops, I don't know how to get them to like just bloop down in there. Whoop, uh-oh. Because I don't have any of those little wax pencils. I bet I can use this to pick it up. Yes. And then, hey, get off of there. There we go. Heck yeah. Twinkle, twinkle. There we go. Love it. Bead tweezers? Oh yeah, that's a good idea. This worked out for now. So, and then we get to make more granules, which normally, if I'm not live streaming, I like to watch like nature shows, because that's my favorite way of getting inspiration, is just seeing how nature does it. Really, like there's so much beauty and mystery and just weird stuff out in the natural world. And especially with like, is it macro or micro photography, where like you can see like bugs like super zoomed in, like, it's amazing that, as far as I'm aware, we're the first humans to be able to see these things in such, detail, so zoomed in and close up. So I think it's amazing to get to feed my brain with, these beautiful images of the wild world around us. Okay, still thinking about my favorite interactions from Dragon Con. Probably in the top 10 is Randy and I got to see our space people, who are, we met them last year. It's a lad and lady who work at a space place in Florida. I'm very bad at names. And they do astrophotography as well. But they're the ones who put the gas in the tank for the Artemis spaceship that's going to the moon. And so to get to see them, and I felt so bad because I was like, I should behave like a professional. But I saw them, and the lady was like, "Oh, y'all don't have as many rings as you did last year because we have half of the display out, but we'll get into that later." And I was without anything, no preamble, nothing. I was like, "Randy, it's the space people." And I don't know. They were very kind and polite. But just that Randy, he immediately knew exactly what I was talking about. But I don't know, they captivated my imagination, and so whenever I think of them, I just think of these, artificer gnomes, like, that just work on spaceships, and, I don't know, but the reality is of them is even cooler than in my imagination because they were showing me some pictures of, like, the, what is it, sublimated nitrogen or something. The air was like raining, like I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but something science was happening and they got a picture of it and it looked pretty cool. Like, and so yeah, what a time to be alive. So I got to meet my space people at Dragon, and they were like, "Yeah, everything's going." They're currently, I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this. Well, they told me, so it can't be like secret or anything, but they were like, we're working on the abort mission protocols for the Artemis program. And so it's like just that they're drilling everything, and like this is so exciting. I can't wait to see how everything pans out. Like, you know, so cute. Like space is super exciting to me. I'm such a uh, there are some folks who I've met who I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're definitely pinnacle human brain people." I evolved to eat potatoes in a cave. Like that's my maximum. Like I can sculpt some stuff sometimes, but my peak achievement is I can eat potatoes in a cave. So to see folks who are able to like coordinate and do science and stuff together and like literally get rockets off the ground, I'm like, this is so cool just to be able to witness. And so I'm cheering for our space people down in Florida to get the Artemis space shuttle to the moon. But yeah, we modified the booth setup a little bit this year. That way, thank you so much for the follow. For the follow, Shogun. Okay, I can tell that I haven't had enough caffeine, so time to coffee up. Ooh, get it, bodega. Yeah, we're probably going to take a lunch break here before too long. I'll get the oven going and get these projects baked. And I might take a nap. I'm still pretty whooped from the convention, y'all. Kind of looks like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Ooh, all of that color scheme. Yes. But yeah, I think this is if this were painted like a dragon eye, and if it were a little bit more oval of a stone, like I think this would it be NASA in Cape Canaveral? Maybe. Something space somewhere in Florida. I can't unsee it. Well, that's awesome because I freaking love Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Like last time we were babysitting our buddy crew, uh, we watched Lilo and Stitch, and that was a lot of fun. Okay, so now I like to take one of my fingers with some of this antique silver, just burnished onto my skin. I know you're probably not supposed to do this, but here I am. And I'm just going to kind of pat and rub that into the surface. That way it's silver toned, but it's going to have really cool, like, details shining through, is my hope. And you can always add more, so I like to just build up a little at a time. Mm-hmm. We could also probably use like a little brush or something. But I like this because it tones it down just enough that it doesn't look overly colorful. But there's still the colors and stuff are still coming through. Okay, so I'm just going to glump all of these together. The Kennedy Space Center is in Florida. Oh, okay. I have no idea which one it is, you guys. Like, I'm really bad with names, and Dragon Con's the worst place for me to try to remember names and stuff. No, I'm okay without that. You never know unless you try. There we go. Everything's all rubbed and blended in. And now I'm going to see if zooming out gives us a better balance of the color on this. And then this is it fluorescing. And let's just peek under the table. And that's it glowing in the dark, which I think is pretty cool. And we can always decide later which side we want to be right side up or upside down. But by doing the colors underneath the silver, it almost gave it a little bit of like an iridescence from within, which I was not anticipating, but I'm super duper digging. Oh my gosh, After Midnighter has subscribed. They've been subscribed for a total of 1 month. Well, thank you so much, After Midnighter. Bodega says, one time I got so frustrated with someone that I used the Stitch voice and flawlessly shouted, "Oh my gosh," they went aghast, and my girlfriend said, "Such language." Oh no. What was that in Stitch's native language? I'm trying to remember. Oh, well, thank you, Peaceful. I've enjoyed playing around and just having fun with some polymer clay. It didn't have to be anything other than what it is. It's probably going to get a black acrylic wash after it's all said and done. I'll bake it. I'll pop it off of the tile, and then I'm going to set it into the next stage area where I'll be rolling out polymer clay on my pasta machine so it's nice and even, and I'll do a nice back and I'll inlay. We might work on that on another live stream, or I might make a tutorial out of it because I feel like that's very useful information. So, but I think for in the meantime, you guys, we're going to go take our lunch break. I'm not certain if we'll be live streaming again later today or when our next live stream will be. So be sure to hit that notification bell if you're subscribed. And I'll see y'all in our next live stream. So thank you guys so much for being here and keeping me company in the craft room today. And until next time, happy crafting. Mwah. Bye.